The top 10 richest celebrities in the world in 2025. Money talks. And when it comes to celebrities, it doesn't just talk, it screams, sings, flexes on Instagram, and occasionally buys a yacht the size of a small country. We're in 2025, and while you're probably scrolling through your bank app praying your salary lasts till the end of the month, these celebrities are out here buying private islands for fun and commissioning diamond-encrusted sneakers like it's nothing. But here's the twist. This isn't just about who has the flashiest watch or the most ridiculous car collection. These celebrities built empires. They didn't just cash in paychecks, they turned their names into brands, their passions into billion-dollar businesses, and in some cases, their hobbies into gold mines. So buckle up as we count down the top 10 richest celebrities in the world in 2025. From musicians turned moguls to directors who could probably buy Middle-earth itself, this list is proof that fame pays, if you know how to play the game. 10. Magic Johnson. Net worth $1.5 billion. Age 65. Citizenship US. Let's start with the man who proves that being a sports legend is just step one. Magic Johnson isn't just a basketball icon, he's a business mogul with the Midas touch. The man retired from basketball decades ago, but somehow his net worth kept climbing like he was still dunking on people. From owning movie theaters to Starbucks franchises to stakes in the LA Dodgers, Magic turned his charm and competitive drive into a billion-dollar business empire. The best part? He's the kind of rich where people forget he was once just an athlete. Imagine being so successful in business that folks almost forget your 5 NBA championships. That's Magic Johnson for you. He's the smooth operator who proved that smart investments last way longer than highlight reels. And in 2025, he still sits comfortably on the billionaire throne at number 10. 9. Taylor Swift. Net worth $1.6 billion. Age 35. Citizenship US. If money had a soundtrack, it would probably be written by Taylor Swift. From country sweetheart to pop superstar to indie folk storyteller, Taylor has reinvented herself more times than we've changed Netflix passwords. But let's be real, 2023's Eras Tour wasn't just a tour, it was an economic event. Cities begged her to perform because her concerts boosted their local economies. Like, forget politicians, Taylor Swift is out here stimulating GDPs. And it didn't stop there. With her savvy business moves, re-recording her masters, Taylor's version, anyone? And owning her music outright, Taylor transformed herself from an artist into a billionaire CEO of her own empire. She's proof that standing up for your rights as an artist doesn't just win you fans, it wins you generational wealth. And as just 35, she's the youngest on this list, and let's be honest, she probably hasn't even peaked yet. Swifties, your queen is officially sitting on a $1.6 billion empire. 8. Peter Jackson. Net worth $1.7 billion. Age 63. Citizenship New Zealand. From the quiet hills of New Zealand to the richest list of Hollywood, Peter Jackson is the man who turned fantasy into a fortune. The director of The Lord of the Rings and The Hobbit trilogies basically created a tourism boom for his country, while simultaneously cashing billion-dollar checks from box office gold. But Jackson didn't stop with hobbits and elves. His visual effects company, Weta Digital, became one of the most respected in the industry. So much so that he sold part of it to Unity Software for hundreds of millions of dollars. Translation? The guy made more money selling digital orcs than most of us will make in 10 lifetimes. He's one of those rare celebrities who stepped out of the spotlight and let his creativity and bank account do the talking. With $1.7 billion to his name, Peter Jackson proves you can literally film your way to billionaire status. 7. Kim Kardashian. Net worth $1.7 billion. Age 44. Citizenship US. Love her or hate her, you can't ignore Kim Kardashian. What started with a reality TV show turned into one of the most lucrative personal brands in history. At this point, Kim could sell sand in the desert and still make $1 billion. Her beauty brand SKKN, her shapewear line Skims, and her endless business ventures have made her the queen of monetizing fame. But here's the genius. Kim knows how to stay relevant. While other reality stars fade into obscurity, Kim reinvents herself every few years. Reality star, businesswoman, social justice advocate, fashion icon. In 2025, Kim's net worth sits at a cool $1.7 billion, proving once again that she's not just famous for being famous, she's famous for being rich, smart, and always 5 steps ahead. 6. Jay-Z. Net worth $2.5 billion. Age 55. Citizenship US. Allow me to reintroduce myself. Actually, no introduction needed. Jay-Z is the blueprint. He didn't just rap about being a businessman, he became the businessman. From music to clothing, champagne to sports management, Jay built an empire brick by brick. Rock Nation? His. Ace of Spades champagne? His. Tidal music streaming platform? Yep, his too. And let's not forget, he and Beyoncé are basically the ultimate power couple, with a combined net worth that makes Wall Street hedge fund managers cry into their spreadsheets. Jay-Z's story is legendary, from hustling in Brooklyn to becoming the first hip-hop billionaire and then climbing even higher. In 2025, he sits at $2.5 billion, proving that I'm not a businessman, I'm a businessman wasn't just a lyric, it was prophecy. 5. Vince McMahon. Net worth $3 billion. Age 79. Citizenship US. Let's be real, wrestling without Vince McMahon is like pizza without cheese. The man turned WWE from a family-owned wrestling promotion into a global entertainment juggernaut. Without Vince, there'd be no WrestleMania, no Undertaker, no Rock vs. Stone Cold, basically no childhood for half the planet. Vince has proved that controversy and spectacle sell. He wasn't just behind the scenes, he put himself in the ring, taking chair shots and playing the ultimate villain. Business and performance blended seamlessly, and the world ate it up. Even now at age 79, Vince is still cashing in. WWE's billion-dollar media deals and his influence in sports entertainment keep his net worth at a massive $3 billion. Love him or hate him, Vince McMahon is wrestling's richest ringmaster. 4. Oprah Winfrey, net worth $3 billion, age 71, citizenship US. All hail the queen of daytime TV and empire building herself, Oprah Winfrey. She started with nothing, broke barriers, and built an empire that spans television, film, publishing, and philanthropy. Oprah didn't just make billions, she inspired billions. Her Oprah Winfrey Show was more than a talk show. It was a cultural institution. From giving away cars to changing lives with her book club, Oprah became the most trusted name in media, and she leveraged that trust into partnerships, investments, and a media empire that still thrives today. At $3 billion in 2025, Oprah remains the ultimate example of turning influence into fortune. She's living proof that empathy and empowerment can be just as profitable as drama and scandal. 3. Michael Jordan, net worth $3.5 billion, age 62, citizenship US. They call him the GOAT for a reason. Michael Jordan may have retired from basketball decades ago, but his financial game has been nothing short of legendary. The Air Jordan sneaker line alone is an empire. Forget just athletes, Jordan sneakers outsell most brands. Kids who weren't even born when he played still line up for Jordans like their lives depend on it. Add in his ownership stake in the Charlotte Hornets, which he sold for billions, endorsements and savvy investments, and you get a net worth of $3.5 billion. MJ didn't just dominate on the court, he redefined what it meant to be an athlete entrepreneur. In 2025, he remains the wealthiest athlete in history. 2. George Lucas, net worth $5.1 billion, age 80, citizenship US. A long time ago, in a galaxy far, far away, George Lucas created Star Wars, and then he created billions. Lucas is living proof that a single creative vision can change not just cinema, but the entire entertainment industry forever. When the first Star Wars movie hit theaters in 1977, no one could have predicted it would grow into one of the most successful franchises in history. The special effects, the unforgettable characters, the lightsabers, everything about it redefined what blockbuster storytelling could be. But here's where George Lucas's genius really shines. He realized early on that the real money wasn't only in ticket sales, it was in the galaxy around the story. Toys, lunchboxes, action figures, video games, spin-off shows, books, theme park rides. Lucas practically invented the modern concept of movie merchandising. While other filmmakers were cashing their studio checks, Lucas was quietly building an empire of collectibles and licensing deals that turned Star Wars into more than a film. It became a lifestyle, and fans ate it up. Then came the game-changing moment. In 2012, Lucas sold Lucasfilm to Disney for over $4 billion. Most people thought, well, that's it. George just cashed out and now he'll fade into retirement. But nope, George Lucas doesn't just fade. That sale didn't mark the end of his fortune, it supercharged it. Between Disney stock payouts, ongoing royalties, and smart investments, Lucas has continued to rake in the kind of money that makes even other billionaires nod in respect.
In 2025, Lucas sits at a jaw-dropping $5.1 billion. He hasn't directed a film in years, but he doesn't need to. Every time a new Star Wars series drops on Disney+, every time a kid swings a lightsaber toy in their backyard, and every time someone shells out money for a ticket to Star Wars Galaxy's Edge at Disney theme parks, George Lucas's galaxy far, far away keeps getting closer to his bank account. At 80 years old, he remains the ultimate example of how one brilliant idea combined with business foresight can turn imagination into generational wealth. Lucas didn't just create a story, he created an economy. And nearly half a century later, his empire is still growing. Number 1. Steven Spielberg. Net worth $5.3 billion. Age 78. Citizenship US. And at number 1, the man who redefined blockbuster cinema, Steven Spielberg. From Jaws to E.T., Jurassic Park to Indiana Jones, Spielberg didn't just make movies, he made cultural landmarks. His films weren't just box office hits, they became generational experiences. Who else can say they've terrified the world with a shark, made us believe in aliens, brought dinosaurs back to life, and given us one of cinema's greatest treasure hunters? All in one career. But here's the twist. Directing alone doesn't make you $5.3 billion rich. Spielberg was never just a storyteller, he was a businessman with an artist's soul. While many directors cashed their paychecks and moved on, Spielberg negotiated deals that gave him long-term ownership stakes and back-end profits. That's why, decades later, his bank account is still swelling every time his movies stream, re-release, or inspire spin-offs. And let's not forget his legendary deal with Universal Studios. Instead of a flat fee, Spielberg struck an agreement that guaranteed him a percentage of profits from theme park attractions based on his films. Translation? Every time you screamed on the Jurassic Park ride, laughed your way through the E.T. adventure, or braved Indiana Jones at Disneyland, Spielberg wasn't just smiling, he was cashing in. In fact, that deal alone has made him hundreds of millions over the years, proving he's just as much of a mogul as he is a filmmaker. At 80 years old, Spielberg isn't slowing down either. He's still producing, still directing passion projects, and still mentoring the next generation of filmmakers. Yet his empire has grown far beyond film. Through Amblin Entertainment, DreamWorks, and his countless partnerships, Spielberg turned his imagination into a brand. An empire that spans not just Hollywood, but global entertainment itself. So when we call Spielberg the richest celebrity in the world in 2025, it's not just because of the billions in his bank account. It's because he embodies the very definition of a Hollywood mogul, someone who shaped culture, built an empire, and proved that storytelling could be as powerful and profitable as any business venture on Earth. Not bad for a guy who just wanted to make movies.
The Billionaire Celebrity Club.
So, what did we learn today? Fame is fun, but fortune is forever. From athletes to musicians, directors to reality TV stars, these 10 celebrities prove that talent opens the door, but smart business keeps the money flowing. The crazy part is, this list isn't static. The Celebrity Billionaire Club is growing every year. And who knows, maybe the next big star on TikTok or YouTube could crack it someday. But for now, these are the top 10 richest celebrities in the world in 2025, living proof that if you play your cards right, your name can become a billion-dollar brand. If you enjoyed this countdown, don't forget to like, subscribe, and share this video. Who knows? Maybe one day we'll be making a list about you.